Good afternoon from the bluegrass. It's me, Harry Bear Brooks, or the Bear, or Junior. That's what my longtime friends know me as, and what my family has always called me, because my grandfather was Harry Brooks, my dad was Harry Wayne Brooks, and I'm Harry Wayne Brooks Jr. So there, you know a little bit about me now. But it is now 2:41 here on the East Coast in the heart of Central Kentucky on March 19th, 2018, and this will be probably the most important video I've ever put up. I posted something that had a map that looked like this on it the other day, and I had figured out that I'm not a prophet in any way, nothing but just an American, but you can see I've written all over this map, and it shows that we are in Revelation 12 right now. I personally witnessed this great sign in the heavens, which actually happened on September 24th and not the 23rd, because they failed to take into account the Earth is slowing in rotation. It's slowed down, so it made it a day later than what they had predicted. I don't know why they didn't take that into account, all the great scientists of the world, and they don't take into account something that is known amongst them. But the stars of the Southern Cross that night, I happened to glance off at them after the planet came out of Virgo, and they twinkled like never before, and there was a completely clear, calm night. I was out taking my middle of the night walk when I can't sleep. That's what I do. But they twinkled like I'd never ever seen. I mean, there were just so many colors, and the two stars that set off to the sides of the vertical 3 stars in the Southern Cross, and I actually broke down and cried as I was walking home that night. I didn't know whether to cry, laugh, or whatever. I was just overcome with emotion. But as you know, they have been censoring my videos on Facebook. When I attempt to talk about God, they muted out a minute and 32 seconds of me saying, "Go rest high on that mountain." But that map that I just showed you guys, and I'll post at the end of this video, it definitely goes right along with, and it says, "And a great and wondrous sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and crowned, and 12 stars at her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth." And this all happened. I saw it happen. But then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns. What do you think? What could that possibly mean? Well, tell me this does not look like a dragon. We're going all the way across. There's the head up in Turkey, and the tail over here at Pakistan. It says 7 heads. Well, there just happened to be 1, 2, 3. I can't go backwards, but 7 countries in the dragon. And it said his tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky, which has not happened yet, obviously. But the tail would be Pakistan, and they are nuclear armed, so it could very well be that Pakistan will do that. And you say, okay, and 7 crowns up on his head. Well, just so happens that Turkey, there's 7 ridges at the top of Turkey on the map. If you look, you can count them if you really feel the need to. His tail swept a third as she was about to she gave birth, and the woman fled in the desert, a place prepared for her by God where she might be taken care of for 1260 days. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down to earth, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. And then the dragon goes after the woman, and spewed forth water like that of a river. Well, it just so happens the Euphrates River starts in Turkey, and Israel is the woman, and of course the person she's giving birth to could be Jesus or the church, because the church was conceived when Jesus died on the cross. So after any woman will tell you that after a baby is conceived, then she has to go through pregnancy, and then she gives birth. She doesn't conceive and give birth immediately. But the earth helped the woman by opening its mouth and swallowing that dragon that had spewed out of its mouth. Then the dragon was enraged at the woman and went off to make war against the rest of her offspring. You got to understand too that the woman had someone protecting her. Those with the wings of an eagle, i.e. the United States, to take her to that place in the desert. In other words, the Israelis are getting ready to be displaced out of Israel. Some of them will. There's a town out in the middle of nowhere in Israel that they will go to, and I can't find the name of it currently, but I will get back to you on that. And then we have the beast out of the sea. If you look at this map, you will see that the beast out of the sea looks like a leopard, and there's a foot, and there's a foot that both look like the feet of a bear. And I'll read that passage to you. And I saw a beast coming out of the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads. 10 horns. There on the top of Morocco are 10 ridges that run across. I've got them all numbered here. I'm not sure if you can see it. But the beast I saw resembled a leopard, but had feet like those of a bear and a mouth like that of a lion. So the mouth like that of a lion, and looks like a leopard, feet like a bear. 7 heads. Well, there's 7 countries in that area, and Niger and Sudan make up the feet. And that beast says will have one of the heads of the beast seemed to have a fatal wound, but the fatal wound had been healed. The whole world was astonished and followed the beast. Well, President El-Sisi of Egypt, if you pronounce his name backwards, please God forgive me for saying this word, Azazel, the original serpent, the original Satan. Once again, you can take this however you want to. The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies. All the heads of that beast out of the sea just so happens it says all the names are blasphemy. Why? Well, why is that? Well, all 7 of those countries that I just pointed to right here, they're all Muslim countries. Yes, there are some Christians there. There are Coptic Christians in Egypt and in other places, but they're all Muslim majority countries, so they are blasphemous against God. And then we go to the beast out of the earth, which I'm pointing at it right now, Saudi Arabia. And it says that the beast out of the earth will have 2 horns like that of a lamb. There you go, 1, 2. Then I saw another beast coming out of the earth. He had 2 horns like that of a lamb, but spoke like a dragon. They speak the same language in Saudi Arabia as they do in Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Pakistan. So that's where I'm going with that. Which obviously we have not reached the point where Pakistan has flung a third of the stars out of heaven yet. So the great sign has appeared, but we haven't reached that point yet. And then it goes on, chapter 7 goes on to chapter 14 next, and it's the Lamb and the 144,000, and I will cover that in my next video. Thank you so much. God bless you. May God bring peace on you, and have a blessed day. Thanks so much. I'm Harry Barry Brooks, or Junior, or Gunner, or whatever you want to call me. Just call me somebody that's not afraid to tell the truth as I see it. Love you guys. Peace and bye.